In this episode of Random Rampage, I will be using the SPAS-12 with a suppressor as my primary weapon, a Python with the snub nose attachment as my secondary weapon, a frag grenade as my lethal grenade, a concussion grenade as my tactical grenade, and a motion sensor for equipment. My first perk is lightweight, my second perk is steady aim, and my third perk is the infamous second chance. The kill streaks I'm using are counter spy plane, Valkyrie rockets, and chopper gunner. Sit back and enjoy. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Linus here, and for those of you who actually watch my videos or watched more of my videos, will notice that I'm using a new format for my Random Rampage series in which I let a website roll a totally random class for me. I used to do all of them live, but I'm no longer doing that simply because I have no guarantee at all that the first match will be entertaining to watch, and my gameplay actually suffers quite a bit when I'm doing commentary while playing. So now I actually make the class, I play a couple of games, and I just upload the best game of all. Which actually makes it more interesting to watch in my opinion, because of the better gameplay. And it allows me to give a better commentary and more, better tactics, tips, all that stuff. I'm also going to be talking about a few things to keep in mind when using this class. The good, the bad, the things I like, the things I dislike. And would I use this class? So let's begin, shall we? Now, a couple of things that you might want to keep in mind is when using a shotgun, because I told you the class before, it's the SPAS-12. It is totally different from playing with an assault rifle or a submachine gun. You can't just shoot people from miles away. Well, miles away is a bit of an exaggeration, but you can't shoot people from very far away. You need to be very close to people if you actually want to kill them. Actually, steady aim makes it a lot better, which is one of the things I definitely like about this class. I don't really think you need sleight of hand, because I use that on the Stakeout and the Olympia, but the SPAS has doubled the ammo of the Stakeout, which is 8 rounds in one clip, and you don't really need more, in my opinion. You don't need to reload that fast, simply because 8 rounds should be more than enough to clear a few people. I think the most amount of people I kill with that is probably 4, and after that you can just reload very easily. Another thing to keep in mind is the tactical grenades. Now, it might be hard getting close to people with a shotgun. You're at a distance, you want to shoot someone, but you're not sure how to get to them because they're using an assault rifle or a submachine gun, maybe an LMG, although those aren't as frequently used. What you can do is just throw concussion at them and just walk towards them and shoot them, simply because they don't see you coming, or if you flash them, they don't really have the time to respond to your actions. And this was a really weird kill. Another thing I like is the lightweight perk that I got with this class, because it really helps you actually get close to your enemy. That's really something you need with a shotgun, either a marathon or lightweight, simply because otherwise you won't be able to get close to your enemies. And this guy was camping for a little bit, it seems. But when not using lightweight, it is very hard to get close to your opponents, and if you can get close, you can kill them if you're using a shotgun. So that is something to keep in mind. Lightweight is a definite yes, in my opinion. I wouldn't use them both, because you don't really need to sprint for very long amounts of time if you have lightweight, in my opinion. I'm just saying. Although second chance was definitely not my first choice. I never used the perk. Actually, I unlocked it at like rank 42 just for this class, but I don't like it. Simply because it's very annoying. I know how annoying it is when someone, drops into second chance. So that is, a reason for me not to use it. And I also think it is very annoying when you drop into second chance and there's no enemies around, so you don't have anyone to shoot. Those are the reasons I would not use it. What I would recommend is if you're playing with a headset, use Ninja, or use something like Hacker, because Hacker is a great perk in my opinion, especially when running around a lot, which you probably should do with the shotgun. Use Hacker, and you can actually see where people are because they're claymores, but you also won't run into them as frequently as you normally would, so that really helps out as well. This is also why I don't like the motion sensor. The motion sensor sort of promotes camping a little bit, in my opinion, because you put it down, you can actually see when someone gets close to you. I don't really like it. I rarely use it. And if I do use it, I just put it down in a building and just run away, just in case someone, walks around in that building, and I can just know when there's an enemy and I just return to that building. But I never stick in a single building for an entire game, because that's very boring. Unless, I'm playing with a shotgun, in which case it is actually a pretty good idea. Although I would not say, camping is a good idea at all. But you know, taking control of a single building might be a good idea, and especially in a free-for-all that really works well. Not so much in a team deathmatch, but free-for-all, yes. And the kill streaks I'm using are actually quite okay. I mean, the counter spy plane, there's nothing wrong with a counter spy plane at all. You know, there's never a reason not to use it, simply because it is a very you know, useful kill streak. It makes it so that your enemies can't see you, and if you have a spy plane, you can see them most of the time, unless someone has a counter spy plane like the enemy team has right now. And as you can see, through the use of steady aim, I can actually shoot people from way farther away than I would normally. And here I get my chopper gunner thanks to second chance, and I felt really bad for this guy. I know how annoying it is if you actually shoot someone in second chance. I don't think anyone deserves a second chance. I mean, you were killed, why should you be able to get up again? But it seems the creators like the perk and still put it in, but I really hope they take it out. And what I don't really like is the chopper gunner. It is a way overused kill streak in my opinion. Like, it allows you to get a lot of kills, that's true. But it is, first of all, it's pretty boring to just sit in a chopper and shoot at people. Maybe I should have sped this up. But I think it's very boring when just sitting in a chopper shooting at people. And I'd much rather use the attack dogs or the attack helicopter, so I can actually get in on the action while your chopper is in the air or your other kill streak is running around. So that way you can actually keep playing while getting kills instead of, you know, having to sit in a chopper, which like 50% of the time it gets shut down very quickly, simply because people are now using the Strela and the Law way more than they used to. You know, in previous Call of Duty games, in my experience, people would not very much, you know, use rocket launchers to shoot down air support. And in this game, a lot of people use the Strela and the Law simply because the other sidearms aren't that great. I mean, the ballistic knife is fun, the crossbow is fun, but I wouldn't, you know, really call it an efficient sidearm. That is also a thing I didn't really like. The Python is not my favorite pistol in the game, especially not with the snub nose. I don't know why anyone would use this. I think it's really crappy, especially when shooting from farther away. I think you need like 4 shots to actually kill someone, which is pretty ridiculous seeing as there's only 6 bullets in a round. So I would not use that at all. If you insist on using a pistol, I would suggest the CZ75 with extended mags. That's actually a really good pistol in my opinion. I pretty much use that on all my classes where I use a pistol, and I like using the ballistic knife as well, since that is, you know, fun to use, although that's not a very realistic secondary. Most people won't be able to really defend themselves with it, although it is very useful for knifing. What I also didn't really like is the Valkyrie rockets. It is fun to use, although it is not very efficient, since you have to get a 7 kill streak, and you could, you know, much better use the attack helicopter, which will get you way more kills than the Valkyrie rockets. I mean, they're fun to use, and it's cool to get like a cool game with a kill cam with them, but they're definitely not the most useful kill streak in the game. What I did like also is the frag, although the Semtex might have been more useful, because with this class I like to rush. I just run around, I don't sit in corners. You know, using a frag is pretty useful. Frags are very deadly in this game, although you do need to cook them, which is, you know, it takes time. It takes like a couple of seconds to do it. While Semtex you can just throw. Same with the Tomahawk. Tomahawk is hard to use, but when you can actually use it properly, it is a very deadly sidearm. I mean, tactical, you know, lethal grenade thrown thingy. And it's actually very useful if you use it in that way. Especially against second chancers, that's the best use for it in my opinion. Just, if someone is in second chance and you're out of tactical grenades to throw at them, just throw a Tomahawk at them. It's very useful, it's deadly, it's silent. It's a very good way to kill people, and it looks really cool in the game with a kill cam as well. The concussion grenade are also my favorite. They're very easy to throw, they're fast, they're way faster than the flashbang, and they have a pretty devastating effect. If you're hit by one of those, you're pretty much screwed, and you might as well just drop to the floor and die. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Random Rampage. Please give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.